Neil, the FA Cup, the Emirates FA Cup dream is over for another year. Sum the game up for us here.
I think only one team wanted to win it more in the second half. We knew what was going to happen, we knew exactly how they were going to play, we knew exactly what they were going to do, and ultimately we've not been able to deal with it or stop it.
Matt did take the lead just before 20 minutes. It was a great team goal. Ben Stevens, 2 goals in 2 games now. It's got to be one positive you take from the game, I guess.
He's a bright light. He's a good player. He's stepping up to first team football now, and he's our best player. You know, and there's a lot of players who've played a lot of games, and we're having to rely on a young kid like that to get us into games and try and get us over the line. And when there's not enough doing it, that's the result you get.
Going into half-time, Neil, 1-0 up, were you relatively happy at that stage?
I was happy with how we'd played. I was happy, obviously, with the scoreline, but we've never been in a position this season to sort of feel comfortable or feel as though we can see a game through yet. When it does happen, like it did against Carlisle, it's great, but we don't really get into that position to be confident that we can see a game out yet. And it's symptomatic of being low on confidence, bottom of the league, or whatever you want to say. But it was certainly like an half-time team talk where we were preparing them for what was going to happen, and we had to step up and do it again, and we haven't.
And I guess it hurt to concede the equaliser so quickly after the interval.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we talk about important times of matches early in the game, before half-time, after we've scored, after they've scored, and you've got to really double your concentration and be ready and do everything you can to make sure you don't concede again. And we've not.
And looking at the penalty, Neil, any thoughts on it?
Blatant penalty. There was a foul 2 seconds earlier for us on the edge of the box that the ref should have given. But if he'd give that and we had a free kick, it would have still been 1-1, and the way that we're playing at the moment, he probably would have scored 5 minutes later.
And going 2-1 down, Neil, with 20 odd minutes left on the clock, did you ever think, you know, we're going to get back into this game?
Yeah, I did, to be honest. We can be either quite good or poor at the moment, and when we're quite good, I think we have a little bit about us, and we've got players who can turn it on at times. And I was thinking we've got a good 20 minutes to get that opportunity or that chance to get an equaliser. So I hadn't given up hope at all, no way. But again, we fell short. We weren't able to, get any concerted pressure on them, which is a disappointing feeling to get.
Obviously, Neil, everyone can see that you're hurting as much as anyone. You mentioned low on confidence, bottom of the league, being symptomatic of that. I guess the question is, where do we go from here in terms of improving that?
I think we've got to hit rock bottom to take a step back. I think we have. This is as low as I've ever been in my footballing career. And I think when you do finally hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go. We need players, that's a fact. We need to get some in, available players in before January if possible. There's not many of them about, there's not many of them that are unattacked, there's not many that we can afford, there's not many that are fit and ready to come into the team, but we have to try and get players in quickly. And then January, I think we have to reassess and make decisions on players who are showing at the moment that they're not up to League 2 standard.
I know it's raw at the minute, and you're talking about being rock bottom position, but when you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have the fight back. We go again, don't we?
Of course we will. It's going to be a rough night. It's going to be a rough day tomorrow. It's going to be a rough few days. But there's only one way to get over things like this. You can't sit and feel sorry for you. You can't lick your wounds. I'm certainly not going to come out all bouncing saying, "Oh no, everything will be okay," because I'd just be talking rubbish. But there's a way and a formula to get the best out of these lads that we've been close to at times. We get it for periods in matches, we get it, and then I think if we cut out individual mistakes, you know, we'd have a lot more points, we'd still be in a cup competition.